Stoner bros and stoners, sisters. Um, it's me, Stoner Bro here, and I don't know if you could hear on my TV, but it's March Madness Day 2. Excuse me. It's spring just started here down in the south, so all that cold air is just now out. Yeah, we're getting nice warm weather. You know what that means? Allergies and sinus season for the first few weeks, and luckily, I'm one of those few that got the sinuses and allergies earlier in the spring. It's still later like everybody like I used to. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. But like I said, today is March Madness Day 2. I'm blogging about that, about what's going on. But today I'm going to speak to you about what happened yesterday, March Madness Day 1. It's just interesting. Um, yeah, man, it was just a lot of things happened. NFL free agency started on Wednesday, so Thursday was the actual full day of free agencies, and people like Case Keenum and all them, those quarterbacks went off the board quick on Wednesday, and Thursday was kind of slow. um, Also, we had Europa League. Um, Arsenal, my team Arsenal, was playing AC Milan yesterday. Kind of nervous. We'll go into that later. And then Wrestling Observer surprised us all and came out with their wrestler of the year and match of the year and all that stipulations. So this is just a new thing that I'm going to be starting. It's pretty much my like diary and visual diary and stuff like that. So in the morning, no new free agents update in the NFL. As and then I'm changing the channel around, looking at the TV, and boom, in a jolt of remembrance, I was just like, "Whoa, bro! It's Thursday, isn't it? March Madness, and it's the NCAA tournament." And the first game that I see is going to be on the guide that I see is what's his name? Dan Hurley, the older brother of Bobby Hurley, buddy, from the coach of Arizona State. But his older brother, I think his name is Danny. Danny Hurley is playing, or is not playing, is coaching Rhode Island yesterday, and they were facing the neighbors from up north of mine, Oklahoma, and Trey Young, and it was one hell of a game. When I heard that, and I'm just whispering to myself, man, I hope I see a Hurley versus Hurley Final Four, because it'd just be a great thing for the game of basketball, period. Because how the Hurleys are, I think Danny. I don't even know his name, but Rhode Island Hurley went to Providence and was a star out there, and of course Bobby Hurley. He went to Duke and part of the 92-93 Duke teams with Christian Laettner. I hate Christian Laettner. But he was he was a good point guard, solid, got in terrible injury in his NBA career start. But he loves the game, and that's what's cool. Just to see them, and then having their dad going out there, because his dad's a legendary coach, and he's a big name in high school basketball. When I was playing high school basketball, Mr. Hurley, Papa Hurley, was really well known as one of the greatest high school basketball coaches in the game. And he had a lot of Division 1A talent that went through, and he went to a small school, so that was going on in the morning. So I was kind of pretty stoked. And then I also remembered, and don't remember, it's AC Milan versus Arsenal, and I'm just like, whew. Man, now I know I got my afternoon ready, and I'm just gonna sit there and watch and see how bad they are, or see if they've won. But for right now, I'm just gonna go up, and I did this yesterday on the Wake and Bake because it was early. But today, I'm just gonna give you what I'm gonna be smoking on today. The strain of the day that was yesterday was Flow, and I gave you, if you don't know what it is, but I said This is the number one rated Cannabis Cup winner of 1996. Is the love child of Purple Thai and Afghan indica, bred by Dutch Passion, and later propagated by DJ Short. The plant is described as having pear-shaped buds with purple calyxes. Flow can potentially be harvested multiple times, creating a flow of buds. The effects are characterized as light and energetic, allowing for clarity of thought. And it's, gets you, it's happy, uplifted, relaxed, euphoric, and focus. And then you got medical with stress and depression and pain. And then dry mouth is the major negative part. Lineage, Purple Thai and Afghani. Grow info. I don't know if I'm going to give you that, but the flavors, it's earthy, sweet, and diesel, and you can honestly. And then there's 2 articles on it, and this is from leafly.com, so go check, or Leafly on their app. Go check it out. It's a pretty cool app. I love it. I use it for my information. They got 2 articles that are under the Flow brand, and it's one of them is cancer survivors share their preferred cannabis strains. So Flow is one of those, and there's a new strain alert. I might want to do this with this new strain alert and stuff, but do something there. But that's the strain of the day, and it was awesome, and I'm pretty high. Today I'm doing concentrates today, so that's all I'm doing because of the sinus infection or sinuses that I have inside. So that's what's going on with the weed aspect. Also Russell Observer yesterday just announced its Russell of the Year, Match of the Year, as and as no surprise, it's my man, the GOAT, Kazuchika Okada. And man, this guy was, his 2017 spectacular. 2017 started off with that epic Wrestle Kingdom 11 Kenny Omega, and then going on through there, facing Shibata and all of them. So yeah, it was fucking great, man. It was awesome. That Wrestle Kingdom 11 match also won Match of the Year. It was by far the best match that I've seen, but in my opinion, I really thought the G1 Climax B final that they had was it. I thought that was the best one that they ever had, in my personal opinion. So, but I can't disagree with what they said about the Wrestle Kingdom 11 one, because it was pretty good. So yeah, those were the things that's happened, and it kind of was predicted that they were going to win all out. And so, what can you say, huh? Yep, we were right. And to all you WWF face fans, or WWE face fans, fuck you. I mean, so. Oh, speaking about that, my boy Scott Davis, I don't know, I retweeted his message of him challenging Rusev. This dude is 6'8", 350, moves like a gazelle, fucking attacks like a lion, and he wants to go up against Rusev at the pre-show or at the main event. It doesn't matter. He just wants to fight Rusev. So get your tweets out there and follow Scott, and vouch for him. If Rusev wants an attention, you wants to get noticed, come get a regular person that's 6'8", 320, moves like a gazelle, and attacks like a lion. That's Scott Davis for you. Scott Davis, Mr. Stoner Bro himself. So that's what he's going. So go on the tweets and start retweeting my tweets and all that stuff. And yesterday, like I said, man, it's March Madness. It's money making time. Money. So, and pretty much, and I said that, and then looking at my bracket is the shit. It's fucking shit. Shit. I'm just sitting here. And the one thing that really blew it was the Arizona game. The Miami game kind of me over on that one too. But other than that, it was pretty good. So I'm going to run down and what were my picks and why I picked that pick, and then I'm gonna tell you the scores and at halftime and the actual score. So we had number 7 Rhode Island versus number 10 Oklahoma. So and this is Bobby Hurley's older brother's team. I think I'm gonna call him Danny Hurley. And if he gets mad, I'm sorry. You're Hurley, bro. I don't know last names. All I know is your first. I don't know first names. All I know is your last name, and your last name's pretty famous in basketball. So, uh, but yeah, I picked. What was it? Let me see. Oh yeah, so I picked Rhode Island, in the question why, and my answer is because I trust Hurley basketball. It's the truth, man. You can't go wrong with Hurley basketball because it's fundamental. It's fundamentals at its purest, and it's so great. I love it. And but yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Uh, this game was actually a pretty damn good game. I loved it. It went into overtime. So here it is. It was at halftime, Oklahoma and Rhode Island. It was Oklahoma 35, Rhode Island 31. Uh, Overtime, it was 69-69, and the final score, Rhode Island just pulled away 83-78. So, so it was a good one. And so Rhode Island advances to the second round. So, that's what happened. The other match was Tennessee versus Wright State. My pick was Tennessee. And why? It's Rick Barnes. That's why. This guy used to be a legend at Texas basketball. He took us to a Final Four with TJ Ford. He had Kevin Durant on it as a freshman, LaMarcus Aldridge, and all of these great players. And Rick Barnes is a good coach, man. He is a good coach. So it's gonna be awesome. So they won last night. At halftime, it was 34-23. Wright State, the 14th seed. Then at the end, the final score was 73-47. Tennessee advances to the second round. And then we had UNC Greensboro, I believe it is, versus Gonzaga. My pick is Gonzaga, and why is just like Michigan State, they show up in March, and it's true. At halftime, Gonzaga was beating them by 9, 32-23. The game ended at 68-60. We got pretty close because Greensboro came out, and so it was awesome. Good game, close game at the end, and so it was good. Let's see. So we had the first 1 versus 16 matchup happened yesterday. Kansas versus Penn. Kansas from the Big 12, Penn from the Ivy League. My pick was Kansas. Why? They are number 1 seed and playing an Ivy League school, and it's tradition. Come on, dude, it's Kansas, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and it's true. Some of it is true, and some of this reasons why I picked them. It's true. When was the last time that Kansas, as a number 1 seed, got ousted in the first round? Never. So it's just like, yeah. This game right here, Loyola Chicago versus Miami. And this was good. I picked Miami. Why? ACC was strong league again this year. And they were. And Miami was a pretty good team. But they went against Loyola Chicago, who was one of those small schools that won the conference and probably won the tournament. Gets in. It was tied at halftime, 28 apiece. And at the final score, Loyola Chicago last minute shot defeated Miami, and this is one of those matches that really screwed up my bracket. And so Chicago with the upset advances to the second round, and I was like, okay, I can have one. That's fine. But as later in the day, it really screwed everything up. Iona faces Duke. I picked Duke. Why? Coach K, the greatest of all time. Halftime, Iona was down 39. Duke was up 53. Final score: Iona 67, Duke 89. Duke comes away with an easy win to advance to the second round. So yeah, this is one of those things. This is here's another one that I truly went for the upset special here, uh, and I pretty got shot to shit because I really didn't really scout this season, but since still knowing about the last 2 seasons, I wasn't really interested in college basketball. I didn't do my scouting really well, so I didn't really know. So I picked picked South Dakota State for the past 2 times because they were pretty good. I guess because the guard that they had, Mr. Triple Double Machine, for the past few years that they had on their team, is gone now, and I guess the team's not being the same. Jackrabbits. I picked South Dakota State. Why? I believe that SDS is better than Ohio State by a slight margin, and eventually it turned out the other way. Uh, Halftime, it was tied 43-43, and final score: Ohio State 81, South Dakota State 73. Ohio State advances to the second round. So this one pretty much fucked my schedule up too. And then this is one of those ones that I was surprised toss up. NC State versus Seton Hall. I picked Seton Hall. Why? Big East basketball was good this year, man. From top to bottom, all the teams are strong. Even Rutgers or whoever and Owen, whatever conference play team, they would probably be in the middle of a pack team in the AAC or in the Pac-12 or the Mountain West Conference. So it was a good year for the Big East, which is it always does because Big East is basketball, and that's what I like about the Big East. And so at halftime, NC State was 41, Seton Hall was 51. Final score: NC State 83, Seton Hall 94. Seton Hall advances to the second round. I was stoked when I got that pick, but like from the other ones, the Ohio State and the Miami game that really screwed me over. And that was pretty much it. That was the only two. And then here comes the late night. But right after the late night, I was watching the Arsenal play. So like in the afternoon, so far the tournament has been really good. The only shocker today is Rhode Island. There's a bunch of shockers in there by the time I started watching the Europa League. So I'm going to the Europa League, and it's Arsenal versus AC Milan. I was really not looking forward to it, but so just 1 second here. Let's see real quick. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it, and so I was hoping because AC Milan is strong too, and Gennaro good too. So I call him the Pit Bull. If you've seen that guy playing soccer in the late '90s, 2000s, that guy is a pit bull, and we need players like that in an Arsenal site. So game starts, and I'm all biting my nails and stuff and wondering. And then at the 11th minute, Koscielny gets injured, and I'm just flipping shit already. And then we put in Colin Chambers, and I'm not happy with that choice because he's not. He hasn't performed well. So Koscielny gives the armband to Jack Wilshere, and so yeah, it was a good game from there. Caligini scores a screamer for AC Milan around 20 or 30 yards out, dude. It was beautiful. It was a goal lost soul in the 35th minute, and then around the 40th minute, 5 minutes later, Danny Welbeck gets fouled in the penalty box. Gave him a couple seconds. The ref called the penalty. AC Milan players were upset, and so penalty for Welbeck, and Welbeck gets the goal, scores the penalty. So that's what it. And then so the other thing is Granit Xhaka, our holding midfield, gets on his left foot and shoots a screamer around 30, 40 yards. And another goal also. Granit Xhaka makes it 2-1 Arsenal. And by that time, and I'm out of grits, on aggregates, we are up 4-1 on an aggregate score. But the only problem, it was actually 4-2 because an away goal costs more. That bullshit's really hard to explain. And then around in the 80th minute, 80th to 85 minute, right around there, Arsenal's pressing, getting up the field, and cross comes in, and Danny Welbeck from close lanes chasses it in or heads it in, and secures the win for Arsenal, and it's 3-1 Arsenal with the 5-1 aggregate score. So my nerves was calm. I was happy they won and smoked a lot of. And then, so at the night time, it was night games for the March Madness. It was Villanova versus Bradford. I picked Villanova. Why? Villanova is just too good. 2-time Final Fours. So yeah. Villanova was up and set at halftime 44-23. The final score. Villanova won 87-61. As expected, Villanova wins. So it was good. It was good. It was good. So they're one of those things that I really enjoy. So Villanova advanced to the second round. Kentucky versus Davidson. The Blue Blood versus Steph Curry School. I picked Kentucky. Why I picked Kentucky is they really started to gel at the end of the SEC season, and and I felt that was going to continue over into March Madness. Halftime, Kentucky was up by 10 points, 34-24. The final score was Davidson 73, Kentucky 78, and Kentucky advances to the second round. San Diego State versus Houston. Pick coin flip. But this is the lack of scouting that happens when I do, and it's just I had a coin flip, and so it's just like I should have put a TBD. But why coin flip two equal teams in lower conferences? Halftime, San Diego State 29, Houston 39. Final score, San Diego State 65, Houston 67. Houston advanced to the second round. The next game that was on, we have is the good old Texas Roundup. We have Stephen F. Austin out here in Nacogdoches, Texas versus Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. I picked Texas Tech. Why? I really seriously considered the upset here. I really did, because Stephen F. Austin has been here in the past couple rounds. Tries, they've been in a tournament and have made runs. So I really considered, but Texas Tech this year was a big, huge surprise in the Big 12. Nobody expected them to be that good in the Big 12 play, and they are that good. And so halftime, Stephen F. Austin was up 30-27. I was like, yeah, prediction correct. And then at the end, Stephen F. Austin 60, Texas Tech 70. Texas Tech advances to the second round. So Texas Tech went on the run here in the second half. The next match was Alabama versus Virginia Tech. My pick was Alabama. And why? Avery Johnson, bro. He's the little general. You can't go wrong with dude. That dude went to an NBA final. And he's now in March Madness, so it's good. And he had his son on his team, and they pulled out a win against Virginia Tech. At halftime, the score was Alabama 41, Virginia Tech was 43. The final score was 86, Virginia Tech was 83. This game was actually pretty good. Oh, Texas A&M won 73-69 over Providence. It was a good game, that Alabama-Virginia game. It was close from beginning to end. Clutch shots after clutch shots. It was a good basketball game. This matchup right here, this game right here really decimated my bracket. Number 13, Buffalo versus number 4, Arizona. I had Arizona going pretty good. even though what's been going on with the NCAA. Why Arizona is just too powerful. That was my pick. That was the reason why I picked it, but obviously not. My why was completely gone at halftime. Buffalo 40, Arizona 38. At that time, I feel like okay, Arizona's gonna pull it out. They're gonna pull it out. Can't wait. And they're gonna pull it out. Typical Arizona. But no, Buffalo went on this run, start getting hot, down late, and it was 89, Arizona 68. In a surprising upset, Buffalo advances second round, and this really tossed my bracket up in the air. So yeah, it was just it was not good. Number 14 seed Montana versus number 3 Michigan. My pick was Michigan. Why? Michigan always makes it into the second round. Period. It's true. Montana 28, Michigan 31. It's just like okay, safe bet. We could they go on a run in the second half, which they did. And final score: Montana 47, Michigan 61. Michigan advances to the second round. And here was my second upset special: St. Bonaventure versus Florida. Pick St. Bonaventure. Why? St. Bonaventure has a good squad this year with a lot of returning players from the squad. I think that made the tournament last year. And eventually that was wrong. They were down at halftime at 22-27 to Florida, and then Florida just pulled away, and 77 to 62. Florida goes to advance to the second round, and that was the day, man. That was the day. That was the day for March Madness Day 1, and it was awesome, brothers. Awesome. And so, awesome, brothers and sisters, awesome. But yeah, that was the day. All in all, it was fun. I love days like these when you just get a bunch of sparks going through on one day. Um, I think I caught myself some Aussie rules football also too. So it was a good day. It was a good day. But other than that, man, my sinuses are acting up, as you can hear me sniffling and stuff. But you wanna sign out? Go take me some sinus medicine, or probably smoke some concentrates here and there. Um, I'll come back on Monday. I'll give you a recap of what happened over the weekend. And then I'm gonna try to start doing this diary thing day by day with the sports and stuff like that, and what I've been smoking on and all that. We'll be covering WrestleMania, wrestling here soon. I'll be covering Raw, do some recaps on that. Um, Monday and Tuesday, expect wrestling till football season, but everybody else, it's gonna be other sports. But until then, peace, love, and happiness, and y'all have a nice day.